I don't understand how you can grow spiritually if you are accepting positions and trying to assert positions that are contrary to what the church teaches. It just seems like you're putting yourself in opposition to if you're putting yourself in opposition to like your bishops, your priests, everybody, doesn't that just seem like, I mean, you're kind of just fighting with yourself instead of growing with God? I can't picture myself coming in as a catechumen, and during my entire catechesis I'm just thinking, oh, my priest is a modernist, my bishop is a modernist, oh, everybody at my church, they just don't understand. I have the esoteric knowledge, I have the secret knowledge, they don't get it. Right, that's the opposite of acquiring humility, right? I mean, I that would drive me insane if that was my position coming into the church. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I can't even picture it.
I think a lot of it is grounded in a misunderstanding of the hierarchical nature of reality and also the church, right? A lot of these guys talk about hierarchy and patriarchy and stuff, and frankly, what they mean is they want to boss a woman around. And I say a woman, not their wife, because they're usually not married. Because if they were married, they'd talk like that in hushed tones. But right? Because they believe in hierarchy and patriarchy, but they're placing themselves at the top of it. Right? There are people out there who I want to submit to me and to my desires. And that's not what hierarchy is and how it works in the way God created the world and the way God set up the church. The way hierarchy works is, number one, none of us are on the top of it. Yeah, Patriarch Bartholomew is not even at the top of it. Right? Okay, there is no human who is at the top of it. Right? Everyone has someone above us, right? Someone in authority over us, who we are responsible to, right? And most of us have some people below us who we have responsibilities for. That's how hierarchy works. And that includes in a family, right? Patriarchy and hierarchy within a family means, right, I'm accountable to the people above me in the family. Think Moses and Jethro, right? I'm accountable and responsible to them, to the people above me in the family. And there are people like my wife, children, if you have them, who I'm responsible for. Mm-hmm. As a priest, I have a bishop who is above me, right? And my job is to represent him in the parish, right? And I have parishioners who are below me in the hierarchy who I am responsible for. I am responsible for them. I'm not the boss of them. I'm not one of the rulers of the Gentiles who lords it over them, right? I am responsible for them. On the day of judgment, I have to give an account for each and every one of them to Christ, not just myself. In my family, I have to give an account for my wife on the day of judgment, right? Mm-hmm. My parents will have to give an account for me. My bishop will have to give an account for me and the rest of his clergy, right? That's how hierarchy works. And so finding your place in the church is finding your place in that hierarchy when you're being catechized, right? And brought into the church. Who is it who is above me, my spiritual father, to whom I am responsible? And then who are the people below me, like the children in the church, who I might be helping to educate, or at least being a model for or a mentor for, right? And I have a responsibility for them.
Yeah. I think this is such a lot of my audience are, catechumens and choirs and things like this. I mean, for me, this seems to be one of the key things that we need to be learning and should be. I mean, we are being taught this, but people need to accept that submission to those who are in authority over you isn't submission if it's only when you agree with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not submission at all when you agree with them.
Exactly.
You're still just doing what you want. Yeah.
So if you're submitting to the authorities above you, that entails when you disagree with them, you are submitting to them.
Right. That I have the humility to say, this person may be wiser than me. I'm going to trust their judgment, not my own.
And it doesn't mean you can't have a dialogue. This is what we
Yeah.
mean by conciliarism, right? Is you can ask my wife. I'm the head of the household. She and I primarily try to do, if I have to speak, it means I've done something wrong, but I try to lead by virtue. Like, I don't have to say anything. But she's my counselor too. You know, I like saying that because she was a lawyer at one point in time, but that's considered, like, I listen to her. A priest listens to his parish council and parishioners, but the proper way is they trust him. They can ask questions, right? They can, but at the end of the day, they trust him. Just as the father of a household, I trust you to make the decision. And I may not like it. And that's why, like, you know, how many times, you know, with my spiritual father's done stuff that I didn't like, and I'm like, I'm going to be obedient, and I was blessed because of it too. And through that obedience too, you learn to trust the person more who's the leader, right? It's like, I don't even question my spiritual father at all anymore. But, you know, the first years that I had him, I was like, that doesn't sound right. But you're obedient and you're blessed through that. You let the leader lead, which goes back full circle to St. Gregory of Nyssa's quote, "It's never good to face your guide. Follow. Follow the Lord. Follow your hierarchs."
And as you're talking about submission, I'm immediately thinking of love too, because if I disagree with you, but I trust that you love me and I love you enough, then I can let love work through whichever one of us is in error, and I can let love work, and I can submit to that process, and I can submit, and I can say, well, this person loves me, so because of that, I'm going to submit. I love them, so therefore I'm going to submit. And if love is that driving factor, then it's not necessarily about, well, I have to prove that I'm right or I have to prove that they're wrong, but it's, you know, I'm going to serve them as Christ would have me to serve them in this moment. I'm going to trust in them, and I'm going to love them, and I think that humility, working through love, will help work that out. And a lot of times you find that you're talking past the person that you're engaged with because, you know, there's communication issues, there's same vocabulary, different definitions, there's perspective. And if all we're focused on is about proving the other person wrong, then submission becomes all about me. And it's not about me submitting, it's about me forcing you to submit. But I think if you go into this and you go, look, I may not always agree with you, but I'm going to follow my Savior, and I'm going to wash your feet in this. And the Lord is going to use this to heal me in those areas where I'm broken and I'm rebellious and I'm stubborn. And it's going to be transformative in my life through that submission process. But I think the driving factor needs to be understood as love and being a servant in that. And I think that if you're trusting, you know, in the person that you're submitting to, it just I think it naturally flows.